2, stand by, and go. Stand by.
All right, welcome everybody to our monthly webinar. We're going to go ahead and give everybody a couple more minutes to file in, and then we'll get started. Thank you. All right. Good afternoon, South Carolina. My name is Dr. Brian Grady. I'm the Labor Market Information Director here at SCDU, and welcome to our monthly webinar. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it over to the star of the show today, Gerald Byrne, who is our data visualization analyst, and he is going to walk you through our new dashboard for the agency. We're going to go ahead and that's going to launch a week from tomorrow. So Thursday, November 3rd, this will go live, but we're giving everybody a sneak peek to take a look at what we have on display. So with that, Gerald, the floor is yours.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Gerald Byrne. I'm a data visualization analyst within the Labor Market Information Division at the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce. Today, we are going to take a look at the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce agency dashboards. So without further ado, we will begin this presentation with current employment statistics. Alrighty. So under our dashboard for historical growth by area, we have two graphs measuring different values based off the CES program. In the non-farm job growth visualization, one can see the percent change in number of jobs from the previous year and month to the desired or selected year month. So showing a year-over-year growth from 1990 all the way to 2022 with each month. We could do it to the most recent month where we have September of 2022. If you highlight over the bar, you're able to see once again in the tooltip that will pop up, gives you the month, the year, and the percent difference in jobs from the previous year and month. Compared to the non-farm job growth visualization, the total non-farm employment area chart reveals the actual numeric value of the number of jobs by each month from 1990 to 2022. Here we go, 1990. And if we keep hovering over from left to right, it'll bring us up to September 2022. So some additional features this dashboard contains allows the end users to either filter by geography or time period. So not only does this dashboard contain South Carolina data, we also have the United States and the bars will change accordingly. So just to show that again, South Carolina to the United States. So we could see the number of jobs for each month from 1990 to 2022. Once again, we also have the year-over-year growth. Furthermore, we're able to show MSAs and not seasonally adjusted data. So if we select not seasonally adjusted, this filter will then bring up the relevant value of MSAs included, as well as this South Carolina and the United States. So let me give Colombia as an example. And then we can also see not seasonally adjusted number of jobs. Now we also have the gradient scale showing where there are negative or low growth, whereas the dark blue or blue is going to show positive or high growth for all total non-farm jobs. So we bring it back. We can even filter by a specific year. So let's bring up 1990 and 1991 as an example. We're able to see the percent growth between 1990 and 1991, and it will relay back that percent growth in the year 1991. Additionally, you can see total amount of the number of jobs from 1990 with all its months, as well as 1991. You can even filter by month. So say if I just wanted to see January and February, you'll be able to hone in on specific months. Whereas in the total non-farm employment graph or visualization, you'll be able to see January and February of 1990, as well as the months that are in between these dates, but it will not relay the number of jobs or employed back to the end user, and instead we hover over here, we'll relay once again to the month filter of January 1991 to February 1991. So that's what we have for our historical growth by area under the current employment statistics program. Moving on to the current employment statistics, the non-farm employment by industry. Within the current employment statistics, non-farm employment growth and detail, the end users not only see total non-farm job growth in different facets, but the composition of the major industries that make up the total non-farm jobs. Within this dashboard, one can see the most recent month's data that has been released that has the percentage growth from last year of the same month selected, as well as the actual numerical growth. So we could see the percent growth from September 2021 to September 22 within the different industries that make up the total non-farm, which is in the gray bar here. And we are able to see the numeric. Now both contain gradient legends and are sorted by their scales respectively in ascending order. Selecting on an industry or its bar will trigger the over the year job growth graph, which in turn filters to the specific industry. So if I came over to government, I can click on its bar and the over the year job growth percentage will go or will filter according to government. Now we can unclick and it will just bring us back to total non-farm jobs. We could also take a look at leisure and hospitality, natural resources and mining, and information. Furthermore, if we hover over, and as you saw when I selected, you're able to see data within the tooltips that are giving additional information that are represented. So Over the year percent growth, we have that difference, the 3.2. It's within the percent growth graph, but it's also within the tooltip as well. We also have over the year number difference in jobs from the previous year and month. So that would be 8,100. And that's for education and health services. So if we came down here, education and health services, you're going to see that 8,100. It also relays the number of jobs together in employment. So it's relaying that 260,900 within the state of South Carolina. So we do have an area name filter too, which I will get to in just a bit. But over here, we also have the major industry percent share of total non-farm jobs. So we could see that trade, transportation, and utilities have the most percent share of jobs. Government, work your way down. Now we can also select an industry and the over the year job growth. So these three visualizations will, in tangents, when selecting an industry, will conform to the industry selected. So let me show you for the United States. We are able to see the United States data now. And it has the same features as what I've shown before with the percent growth, the numeric growth, the major industry percent share of total non-farm jobs. And once again, just to show you, we're able to see trade, transportation, and utilities. Unselect it, we'll bring it back to total non-farm jobs. We also have the not seasonally adjusted for the United States and South Carolina as well. Moving on, we have our local area unemployment statistics. So I decided that we construct a county overview where it's really relaying details pertaining to the LAUS program, such as number of people employed, unemployed, the civilian labor force, and the unemployment rate. So just a little note at the bottom that the civilian labor force is equaling the total employed and the total of the unemployed together. So I can hover over Richland County. It will relay the month and the year of the data, as well as the number of the civilian labor force, the number employed, the number unemployed, and last but not least, the unemployment rate. So we kept it on that gradient scale with the lighter blue showing a lower unemployment rate, whereas the darker blue is going to show a higher unemployment rate. Furthermore, we can even look back all the way from January of 1990 and see the numbers and what they were. So very historical, has a lot of historical aspects to it. Additionally, I can even show February of 2005. So that was our county overview, and we decided to take it a step further and increase the level of detail within our local area unemployment statistical analysis. The statistical analysis differs from our county overview dashboard in two aspects. From the statistical analysis of the LAUS dashboard, we provide more of an analytical overview relating to the civilian labor force, employed and unemployed, where the user is able to navigate between the numerical values of the population types as well as the unemployment rate over a 12-month period based on a selected year. So right now we have South Carolina's seasonally adjusted data for our local area unemployment statistics for the year of 2022. Now this is just has a map to be basically aligned with geography as a reference point. But if we bring it over to our labor force employed and unemployed, we can hover over the number employed. And we could see Then in South Carolina, we are able to see its number unemployed or unemployed, and it has its own scale, whereas the civilian labor force and the number unemployed has its own scale as well. So we have a dual axis going on here. We're able to see the civilian labor force. Once again, that is the number employed plus the number unemployed. And then we also have the number employed. And here was the reference to the population type. We have them separated by the colors respectively. And coming down here, we have the unemployment rate throughout the year or by month from the year of 2022 and September's. Now, the second way it differs is regarding the geography. In the analysis, we can filter geographical overviews of the United States and the state of South Carolina as a whole, as just opposed to the county data that we saw in the county overview. So, once again, we could see the United States numbers. Civilian labor force, number unemployed, as well as the number employed. We also have the unemployment rate, for seasonally adjusted data regarding the United States. Furthermore, since county data is not seasonally adjusted, we can bring down geography and we could take a look at Greenville County within South Carolina. Now this map will pan and zoom into the actual county that you are looking at within the state of South Carolina. We can look at Greenville County, Jasper County, Lee County, and Richland County. So here we have the numbers. Civilian labor force, the unemployed, and the number employed. And below you will find the unemployment rate. Additionally, we love to keep these filters with years, so we will bring it down to, let's say, 2001. We are able to see Richland County's 2001 labor force employed and unemployed, as well as its unemployment rate. All right, so that's just an example of our statistical analysis. Moving on, we have our South Carolina Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, better known as JOLTS. In our Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey dashboard, we have the different JOLTS measures that are illustrated on a month-to-month basis. Set up as an animation, the end user can click the play button to see trends in relation to numerical and percent rates for hires, total separations, job openings, quits, layoffs, and discharges. So here we go. We can look over here. It will relay the month and year, as well as the number in thousands, so 108, total separations, job openings, quits, layoffs, and discharges, unemployed persons per job opening ratio. Then we have our hire rate, total separations rate, job openings rate, quit rate, so on and so forth. Now, here is the animation, and the end user can decide, and I kept it on medium speed, but just to show, if we click the back button, since it's starting at August 2022, one is able to see, and this is happening all automatically, the end user is able to see just the trends throughout the months and years of data that we have. And I believe it's up until August 2022, all the way down to December of 2000, as that's where BLS's cutoff was. Now we can pause the animation and say if we didn't want to wait for that animation, we are able to come down to this dropdown and select a specific month, such as October 2010. We can also change up the speed, and we could do it fast. Or for research purposes, we can have it slowed down as well. Right, moving on. For our next dashboard, we decided to take the vital measures into this of the hire rate and quit rate. And we are able to give a month over month where it is filtered by each year. So one can see the hire rate and quit rate per month within a specific year. You can hover over it, you're able to see what month it was and what measure it is. In this aspect, we got the quit rate here, 3.6, February of 2022. We can even change it to last year, 2021, just as an example. We're able to see all 12 months. Moving on, we have the South Carolina Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund. Taken from the account statement report from the Treasury Direct website, we have highlighted the ending balance of each month from 2016 to the latest completed month of the current year. So hovering over a given month on the line graph, one can see the tooltip relay that the month's beginning and ending balance are present. So starting July of 2016, we're able to see the starting balance as well as the ending balance. We could work all the way up. And we could get to the latest month of September of 2022. Now, since the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce tracks this data by fiscal year, we kept this transparency aligned with the dashboard to track the beginning and ending balance by fiscal year for the end user. So right now I have selected all of the fiscal years, but say if I just wanted to look at 2017, the end user is able to see July of 2016 to June of 2017 for the fiscal year of 2017. And you are able to see the months in between as well. We can do multiple fiscal years as well, where we just have 2017, 2018, and 2019. 2016. Go. All the way up to the end of the fiscal year 2019. So that's what we had for the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund. Next, we have, Next, we have the South Carolina initial and continued claims. So for now, we have managed to capture the total amount of initial and continued claims in South Carolina by week. We can hover over each line to see the total amount for each day of the reflecting week's end. So we can see our little legend that we have up here. We have our continued claims in dark blue, our initial claims in the lighter blue. So you start with initial claims and we hover over it. It will give you the day of reflecting week ended. And the tooltip will relay the initial claims. We can run that all the way down to the most recent release, where we have October 1st, 2022. Additionally, it's the same concept for continued claims. Peak. And all the way down to October 1st. So with closing out this presentation, I want to thank everyone for their time and in attendance. Please note that the launch date for our agency dashboards will be Thursday, November 3rd, and you'll be able to download the viz off of or when it's on our agency dashboard, and can download it for PDF views, etc., so on and so forth. So yes, there we go.
Okay, Gerald, we have a couple of questions.
Sure.
One, how often will the dashboard be updated?
So for the 7 of the 8 dashboards, they are actually updated on a monthly schedule. And the dashboard that we're on now, the claims dashboard, is on a weekly schedule. So
Okay. Another one. Can the second dashboard on the current employment statistics industry detail show other than the current month?
let's see, Carmen, gotcha. So not at this time. If there's enough demand, we can explore the addition of historic data to the dashboard, but historic CS data is available at bls.gov as well as the South Carolina workforceinfo.com.
Okay. We had a question about the ability to download information, but I think you answered that toward the end of your presentation that yes, we can download this information.
Yes.
We do have another question. Are we able to reach out to someone at DO for questions about this? And the answer to that would be yes. We have an email address, LMI customer service, available at our website, scworkforceinfo.com, that you can present questions. Okay. I believe that's about it. I
Okay.
see.
So I think some additional questions coming in here that I'll go ahead and address. So again, the email address is lmicustomerservice@do.sc.gov. We're also going to have sort of a explainer document that will go up with the dashboard to help people navigate it a little more easily. But as always, feel free to shoot us an email at that address on whatever questions. We also see, are you discontinuing the old dashboard? Yes, this is a replacement for the existing agency dashboard. A lot of that data was sort of configured for the worst of the pandemic, reporting things like federal unemployment compensation. Those programs have since been discontinued. Certainly, if there's any information that people need, again, feel free to shoot us an email. Looking at this, will there be the capability to see initial claims by county as there was with previous editions? Not at this time, but again, certainly it's sort of an issue of there aren't that many claims in any given week, so reporting it by county, we don't want people to put too much stock in, oh, there were 8 claims this week and 12 claims the next week. Unemployment is skyrocketing, things like that. I see another question here. Other data that will be added to Tableau in the future. That depends on all of y'all. Let us know what you want to see, and we'll see what we can do to make it happen. And the last thing I see on here is, can data be pulled by local workforce area? So some of these data can be, some can't. So for example, current employment statistics is only available at the state and metropolitan area level. There isn't the ability to get detailed county level data. You'll see that the last data is at the county level. So as it currently stands, it would have to be manually computed. But certainly we appreciate the interest in the local workforce areas of this data, and we will again be evaluating. Shoot us a line at that email address and let us know what you're looking for. So I think that's every question we've got in the queue. So unless anybody has anything else, Gerald, Alan, any last words from either of you?
No, we're good. We're done.
All good.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. And again, this will be live a week from tomorrow, Thursday, November 3rd, as will the new LMI website. We mentioned it earlier, scworkforceinfo.com. That's getting a a fresh new coat of paint, and that will go live the same day as well. So thanks everybody for tuning in, and have a good rest of your afternoon.